Hello. This is my Sinatra portfolio project. It's called Sinatra Event App, and this is the welcome view for the user. Um, and This is my program right here. This is the file structure for my program. I use Cornel to generate this. You could use gem install Cornel and then Cornel new. Um, Name of your app. It really helps me a lot, to generate this file skeleton. I'm able to focus on the programming, setting up my routes, my views, and setting up the database. So I started with my getting my database started. That way I could use stocks on the terminal here, and I could see the users' data as models association. So I could, plans my controllers and views better. This is my gem file right here. And you can see we have docs in the development environment. We're using SQLite 3. I've used, version less than 1.4, and that way it could work on my environment. Some, user has some issue with 1.4, so, recommend if you can get it running, try to get your gem, lower than 1.4. And I'm using Sinatra Flash for flash error messages for the user. Uh, this is for the session secret for sessions. Bcrypt gem that help with user authentication. Making sure the user is authenticated with the use of our apps. Um, and then for the development, for the deployment environment, we're using a different gem in Heroku, Postgres for their database. So that's what my gem file looks like. And then, once you get that set up, this is what my database looks like. I did some migrations, my models. So I started with my migration and my models, and that way I could use stocks and, get everything figured out before I get started. This is what my user class looks like. It has many events, has many RSVP events. It validates the presence of username, email, password, and full name. This is what my events looks like. This belongs to the user, has many RSVP events. And then for the RSVP events, it belongs to the event. It belongs to the user. Um, and then once I get that set up, I did some migration, create table for the user, create table for the events, create table for the RSVP events, and then you can run your migration. In the end, my schema looks like this. Like say you could check out my GitHub repository so you could look at it closely. But once I get that set up, then I can start working on my controllers. We're inheriting from Sinatra base. Most of my controls will inherit from application controller. Then in that, we're enabling sessions, and then we can set our session secret. And if you use this, you could, have a session key. This is my routes to the index HTML, my welcome page, and a helper method, which helps authentication. The rest will inherit from this. And then our layout ERB would set up the template for the site. Use the Bootstrap 4 so we could set up the navigation bar, and depends if a user is logged in or not logged in. If they're not logged in, you're just going to have to log in and sign up. But if you log in, you can access all this navigation bar right here, which are some functionality. So that's basically it as far as the program is concerned. We'll show you guys how we got the program running right here. So like you can see, if you're not logged in, this is going to be your navigation bar here. You could either access it here or here. If you click this up, you'll go back to this side here. So let's log in. Um, so once you log in, it'll show you all the events. If you go to the drop down, you can click your events. So it'll just take you to the particular event you created. And if you created that event, you have a lot more options. If you go to an event you didn't create, so basically you can see it, but you're not allowed to edit it or delete it, and you can only sign up to that event. You sign up to that event, then you'll go to your RSVP events. It'll show you the events that you have signed up on, and you can cancel that event that you RSVP on, then it'll bring you back to the events that still left in your. But if you cancel all your RSVP events, then it'll tell you you currently don't have any RSVP events, and it'll prompt you have canceled this event. If you go back to the drop down menu, if you go back to your events, you have, like I said, if you created that event, you can edit it. And you edit it, you could add stuff to it. Let's just say we're changing the date. And then we'll update that event. And then we got our event updated. If somebody tried to, if you try to like I said, try to edit somebody's event, it won't let you. So let's see, let's just guess. Let's just get somebody's. So you can't go to other people's, events if you want to try to do that. Let's see. And if I try to do like events, and then let's say 6, edit. I guess we had an error because it doesn't exist. So we're actually editing it up here so that I'm just guessing. I think there's an event. I'm just guessing events. Let's say 5. That doesn't exist. So let's see. Let's get some events here. Go to this one. Okay, that's event 1. So let's try to hack that up a little bit. Events 1, edit. So the event exists, like I said, if it doesn't exist, then you're gonna have some issue with the database. But if it does exist, you can't hack it. It's gonna say you can only edit events that you created. So that worked out good. I mean, if you try to change it here and it doesn't exist, like I said, the database can't give you information that doesn't have it. Because I used to have those events, but I think I deleted it playing with it. That's why, it was still stored there, but it's been deleted. But if you have an event that you try to do it here, you cannot, you can only edit the events that you have created. So, and then if you, if you cancel your events, you can cancel it. If you go to your events participant, you got one participant. Since you created that event, before you cancel your event, you want to make sure you notify your RSVP, for that event, and then you can check their email. You can cancel the RSVP events. And then it'll tell you, you have canceled this event. Please notify participants of cancellation, just to remind you. And, if you go back to your events and then you cancel your events, and then you go back to your events, it's going to tell you you currently don't have any created events. So, and if you go back to events you RSVP on, you currently don't have any RSVP events. If you signed up for an event, that will change. And then you go back to events you RSVP on, and it's going to show the same page. So technically, the program is working like the routes and the views, like the way I envisioned it. Of course, I could add some more functionality later on. So we probably, like I said, we met the requirement that you can't edit somebody's entry. You can sign up, but you can't edit. You can only edit, delete the one that you created. Like I said, you can create your own events, check upcoming events, but you can't, change other people's entry. The good feature is that you can find out who signed up on your events and then notify them. You can get their emails. So that's it. Go check it out, play around with it. Like I said, it's I got it on we got it on Heroku, deployed in Heroku, and we got it set up on GitHub, and you guys can download it. Only thing I would recommend is you change the session, this area here, when you download it, because you don't have my session secret, so you're probably gonna have to change this to something you created. Generate your own session secret, or just change this to something like something you can remember easily. You could put like the secret, or that way it will run. Otherwise, it won't run because I have my own. So just session secret here right now. So if you guys download the repo, just make sure you change this little area here. But that's it. Like I said, thank you, but that's it. Thank you. Appreciate it.